Hello, everyone. It is Comrade for Comrade Weather, doing an emergency briefing on Hurricane Helene. Right now, as of 8:27 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, on Wednesday, the September 25th, 2024, Helene is a 85 mile per hour hurricane. Is expected to reach low end Category 4 status with winds up to 130 miles an hour at landfall. Right now, we are looking at the HWRF model. These are one of the hurricane models, and I'm just going to go through the hurricane models right now. Um, I think most of them are already in, so we should be all right. This one's bringing a 919. Let me get it. Yeah, 919 into the Big Bend of Florida. So we could be dealing with a significant hurricane. Well, we are dealing with a significant hurricane, but I'm saying we could be dealing with a Category 4. We could be having winds of 130 miles an hour, gusts over 160. You you need to be prepared in the Big Bend. First off, if you're in any of these areas, if you're in the Big Bend, I would urge you right now, if you haven't evacuated yet, evacuate immediately. Get out of there. Get out of there. Not only is the winds going to be horrible, storm surge is expected in some areas to be up to 20 feet, which can submerge a two-story house. Your houses will be underwater. Before I start the video here, I was on Twitter and I saw I think south of Tallahassee's like St. Mark's, Florida, with 20 feet of storm surge, 15 to 20 feet. That entire city is submerged under storm surge water. So if you are in the Big Bend, and especially if you're anywhere near 15 to 20 feet of storm surge forecast, even close to that 10 to 15, you need to be you got to get out of there. You just get away from the coast, get as far away as possible from the coast. Not trying to panic anyone, but this is a really bad situation. We are dealing with a significant hurricane that's going to bring historic storm surge, possibly even historic flooding. Um, this is a very dangerous situation for the Big Bend of Florida and everyone else in Florida because this thing's got a massive wind field. The entire state of Georgia, the entire state of South Carolina, and like 3 counties aren't under tropical headlines in Florida. But I'm just going to say all of Florida, all of Georgia, all of South Carolina is under tropical or hurricane headlines as of right now. Um, you need to be ready. You just have to be ready. It's probably going to still be a hurricane in Georgia. This is how strong this hurricane is. So 919, that's very, very low pressure. Like, I don't think I've seen 919 be in a hurricane at landfall at all. And I've been doing this for almost 4 years. So probably around 918, 917 millibars at landfall. That's what I'm by 3Z. It's already 928, but it's already in Georgia, Florida area. If we go to the HMON, we have I lost my train of thought here. 925, 938. Let's say like a 930 millibars. So you have an extremely low I for pressure. Very dangerous storm. 945 on the HAFSA model. Hopefully the dry air right now, hopefully that can tamper with it, but I really doubt it at this point because it's still decreasing in pressure, so I really doubt any dry air or shear at this point can stop this thing. And I'm not trying to scare anyone when I say that, but I just don't think there's anything, and there's not enough things to tamper with this. I think this storm's going to be one of the worst ones of the season. And I'm not trying to panic anyone when I say that, but I really, really think if all the models have been consistent with a major hurricane making landfall, with devastating storm surge, flooding, winds, and tornadoes. I would not be surprised if we saw significant tornadoes tomorrow and Friday. This might be one of the worst ones we see this year, and I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I really think this could be it. Uh, go to the B model here, and that one's showing probably a 930, 935, 934 at landfall. They're very consistent. They're moving a little bit more west. It's still in the Big Bend, but it's a little bit more west, which is why I think they're probably going to issue tropical storm warnings for the remaining 3 counties in the Panhandle of Florida. So keep an eye on that. Probably should mention most counties in the Big Bend have at least voluntary evacuations. If you're in a voluntary evacuation on the Big Bend, I urge you to evacuate immediately. And if you're under a mandatory, you got to evacuate, or you're gonna. I don't know if they arrest you or if they fine you or they just make you get out. I'm not sure how that all works. But if you're under a mandatory, evacuate as soon as possible. If you're under a voluntary, please, I encourage you to evacuate, because if you're like near Steinhatchee and Perry, you could be submerged in storm surge. It is a life or death situation. And again, I'm not trying to panic people here. This can be life or death. This will be life or death, because this is quite a hurricane we are facing here. GFS, take a look at. It's like 960. GFS and Euro models are a little because they're global and hurricane models, but they're not really the best at hurricane models. Oh wait, it's 960. I'm sorry. We'll look at the Euro 2, 954. 958. Yeah, so probably like 957 at landfall on the Euro. Want to look at this? Oh, no, that's not gonna work. Want to look at the icon, and we're thinking right now. They're thinking anywhere from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. Thursday night to Friday morning for landfall. Right now, I'm thinking somewhere around 9 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night, Thursday night. And you got 9:48. Most models are showing 940, if not lower, for pressure. And the pressure doesn't mean, okay, this is a cat 4, and it's like 902. But the pressure does kind of help with the winds and stuff. I'm not a huge tropical person, but I do know a little bit of what I'm talking about. Let's go to the track here. I probably should have started with the track, but that's all right. So this is as of 7 p.m. Central, so 8 o'clock, so 35 minutes ago. Very, very small hurricane wind field right now, but you can see the tropical storm wind field. It's being felt all the way from like Havana, Cuba to Cancun, and even starting into the Keys. Again, hurricane warnings are in a. Is there the? Let's see if there is. No. Hurricane warnings are in effect for most of. Well, not most of. I'm sorry. Are in effect for all of the Big Bend of Florida. Tropical storm warnings, and actually, they don't have the experimental cone where I'm using this, but hurricane warnings extend all the way to where that H is at 1 a.m. Friday. And even higher up, I think there's tropical storm warnings all the way up to Atlanta. So we are talking about a very strong storm that can stay a hurricane well into inland. So this is a very interesting situation because we normally see, okay, category 3 at landfall, but it dies out, it goes to like tropical storm status as soon as it makes landfall, kind of thing. This one, we're talking about a very slow decaying of the storm. Um, and I think there's already been flooding like North and South Carolina from a cold front, so that's not going to do any favors. So I'll say it here, and you can see the storm surge forecast here. So 15 to 20 in places like Perry and Steinhatchee, Florida, and St. Mark's. All right. Storm surge up to 20 feet. So if you're along the coast in the Big Bend, I urge you to evacuate. I am encouraging you. If you're under a voluntary evacuation, evacuate now. Once you see this, please evacuate, please. I'm encouraging you to do so. If you're under a mandatory, you have to evacuate, because I think they give you a fine or they kick you out. I'm not sure. I've never been evacuated because I live inland and the Northeast. But storm surge up to 20 feet, winds up to 130 miles an hour, gust up to 160 possible. So be ready for high NDF3 winds, basically, because that's 160's high NDF3 if we were talking about a tornado. Losing my voice here, sorry. Be prepared for 4 to 8 inches of rain in some spots, I would say. I think it's more like 3 to 6, but I would prepare for 4 to 8. And yeah, if you're in Georgia, South Carolina, Florida especially, please, please, please watch out. Please be safe. I urge you to be safe. Is there anything else I can add? Yes, a catastrophic life-threatening flash and urban flooding, including landslides, is expected across portions of the southern Appalachians through Friday. I think Tallahassee said this is a nightmare scenario occurring, especially, I think, more for the storm surge. 20 feet, again, would submerge your average 1 to 2 story house. Or at least get up to the second floor for a 2-story house. If not, go over it. So please, please evacuate along the coast. That is my encouragement to you. But if for some reason you can't, and you're a little inland, still please be ready for significant storms, catastrophic storm surge, catastrophic winds, and catastrophic flooding. And also be on the lookout for significant tornadoes, because I do think this thing has enough energy to drop a few, if not several, significant tornadoes. Like, I think we're going to be dealing with a tornado outbreak tomorrow, and maybe even into Friday. Probably even into Friday. Here's the flash flooding, just in case you wanted to see. You can see some purples and pinks near in western North Carolina. That's close to 20 to 30 inches of rain possible. And I think that would probably be in the higher areas, but I mean, still, even into the coastal Florida area near Tallahassee, could be talking about 8 to 16 inches of rain. At Atlanta, we could be talking about 8 to 12 inches. So we could be breaking records here with rainfall amounts here. Here's the arrival time of the winds. So winds are probably already being felt at Key West. It's tropical storm winds, but winds nonetheless. By Thursday at 8 a.m., so tomorrow at 8 a.m., most of Florida should be feeling tropical storm, if not hurricane force winds in some areas, especially Tampa. I think Tampa could feel some hurricane force winds, which is why I'm kind of glad most areas in Tampa are. Yeah, I shouldn't say that, but like Tampa's university and I think their international airport are practically evacuated at this point, and I think it's voluntary evacuation around the area, mandatory for some areas. Um, Sorry, I'm really losing my voice, and I'm trying to wrap things up here. Here's the day two high risk. You have two high risks. You have one near Tallahassee, of course, because that's where Helene's going to be making landfall, and also you have that in the western Carolinas into northeast Georgia for those like 10 to 30-inch rainfall amounts. So we have a really catastrophic situation that could unfold in the next 24 hours. So I really hope everyone stays safe. Um, I'm going to try to be live for the landfall and any tornado warnings that might occur with this. I'm trying to figure stuff out because I know I got storms up my way tomorrow afternoon. Um, so I'm trying to figure out what to do there. I might just set up my camera and just have it film while I do a live stream. Let's see what happens. But I'm going to try to stay up as long as I can to watch Helene make landfall. Can't stay up too long because it's a school night, which is the bummer. But I'm gonna try my best here. So stay tuned to the National Hurricane Center, the National Weather Service, and I'll try to live stream tomorrow night if I can. Um, Anyways, if you're in the path of this, stay safe. Good luck. And yeah, I just hope you're gonna be all right. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.